This video is going to be my journey to the vaccine. This is the next step forward for me to be able to keep my body as strong and stable as I possibly can.
Really? Of all days. Of all days.
Ah! We just got in the car to drive about 2.5 hours so that I can go get my first vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine. And basically there is another county in North Carolina that they have too many vaccines, so they opened up to the 4th category, and cystic fibrosis patients are in the 4th category. So, and it's gonna be, we don't know how much longer until we can get it locally, meaning me, since I'm the CF patient. And so a friend told us this county 2.5 hours away is starting to vaccinate category 4 people, and we were like, oh really? So Peter started checking a lot of times to try to get me an appointment out there, and today is the day. So we just got in the car to leave and the car won't start. So do we know why it died?
Yeah, remember it was yesterday I turned on the light in the trunk?
Oh, and we forgot about it. Yeah, we did. We forgot. We had to turn the light in the trunk on. We forgot. It won't start. But I'm glad there's a reason. I'm glad we know why it didn't start. So, this video is going to be my journey to the vaccine. And I just feel hopeful. And my doctor, oh, there we go. Peter we have this little chargy thing so that you don't have to have another car to jumpstart your car or boat or whatever. It's this big. It's literally amazing. And it's only $50 or something. Maybe it's even cheaper now. How much are those things? 50?
It's $60, $70, but it is worth the investment. This jumpstarts your car. I've tried to get them to sponsor our vlog. I didn't get a response, so I'm just gonna put our affiliate link to Amazon for this. Cool. It's a lifesaver. Yeah, and yes, it's wonderful. So, my doctor said once we're vaccinated, it will be safe for us to hang out with family and friends who are also vaccinated, meaning in the house, meaning no masks. Ah! So, I have been kind of nostalgic this week thinking about, we got Mary's appointment for this vaccine, and as I've been posting the vlogs from 1 year ago, it was even probably the vlog 1 year ago today is us sick in bed, and that was the beginning of a year of us quarantining, not visiting family, not visiting friends. Yeah. And yeah, and if you weren't around back then, we don't really know if we had COVID. I was tested for COVID, but it was many, many days after my symptoms started. I tested negative for the flu, I tested negative for COVID-19, I tested negative for the RSV and any of those things, but they were all swabbed way late. So we were I don't know, this is the sickest Peter and I have ever been. So it kind of felt like maybe it was COVID, but then Peter got the blood work, the antibody blood work, and it said negative. Now we know that those antibody tests are not super accurate, so we still kind of wonder, but ultimately it doesn't really matter if it was or wasn't, except that I'd love to say that I fought through it and got through it, but who knows. Whatever it was a lot of sick and we got through it. But it was, anyway, a year ago, and now here we are, and it's time for me to go get my first vaccine, and I am really, really excited.
I have some friends who are teachers, nurses who have already had the vaccine. And so it's crazy to think once I'm fully vaccinated, I'll be able to like see them. This is so crazy. But the other part of today is that this county is out near the sandy place, if you know what I mean. So stay tuned for a lot of happiness coming from the vaccine. Another part about the COVID-19 vaccine situation is that obviously there are a lot of people who need to be vaccinated, and the CDC put out a recommendation for order of vaccination, and obviously healthcare professionals were at the top of the list, and thankfully I think across the board that happened first.
Right.
After the healthcare professionals, then the CDC recommended a certain order of vaccination, and cystic fibrosis patients were
1C.
1C, and only 12 states followed that recommendation. And North Carolina, I mean, of course, most states didn't follow that CDC recommendation, and North Carolina did not follow it. They put CF patients almost at the very bottom, one step above the very bottom of the priority list.
And not just CF patients, but people with underlying chronic conditions were put in group 4.
Peter and I feel very grateful that Peter's work is from our home, and so he's not having to be in the public and bring it back to home where I am, and so we're really thankful for that. But we think of chronically ill households where one of the members of the household has to work outside the home and be bringing germs back, and those CF patients or transplant patients or cancer patients or whoever it is at the home who's compromised needs those vaccines. I've been so thankful. Emily's entourage and Gunnar Esiason have done some amazing work at bringing awareness to the needs of the chronic illness community and the vaccine allocations or whatever, order allocations. And so Peter and I just kind of thought that I was just not going to be able to be vaccinated for quite some time. But then hearing about this county that had too many vaccines and needed to find people to take them, we were like, oh wow, well, we could drive. It's going to be about 5 hours today and make a fun trip out of it. We're coming back tonight. We're not staying there, but yeah, so, and I know CF patients who have had to drive to other states, and you know, you kind of just do the best with what you feel like you've got to do. And yeah, it's a journey. Yeah,
and I recognize that this is a complicated season with I want everybody to be prioritized for the vaccine, and I want everybody to get the vaccine, you know, for the sake of even Mary's health. I hope other people get vaccinated. So I recognize there's not an easy solution to who gets the vaccine when and all of that, and we're just really grateful that Mary's able to get it today.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised in the listings of the prioritization that cystic fibrosis was even on the list.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness, you don't usually see that. I think that's kind of cool that they even recognized what cystic fibrosis is. And I think that it's because it's a respiratory, because respiratory patients with respiratory issues are at such a high risk for serious complications from COVID-19. And so I think that's why. I mean, there are a lot of rare diseaes and illnesses, but I guess that's probably why it's on that list, is because it's respiratory.
Yeah.
But So if you are still waiting, maybe you're in that 4th category, or let's say maybe you are in that like at-risk category and you are waiting for your turn, my doctors recommended register in multiple places, not just at your hospital, not just at your county. Register at Walgreens, register at different pharmaceuticals, CVS, Walgreens, and then
your county, like your county distribution, like whatever that is.
And then once, so basically how we were able to get the appointment for me, once you hear about such and such a county is opening up for your category, start like kind of obsessively checking for appointments. So like if you know at midnight tonight it turns the next day, check appointments then, or right when you wake up in the morning.
Or the change of the hour. Some of these like pharmacies update their appointment slots at the change of the hour. So
yeah, and our plan, if I wasn't able to be vaccinated for another few months, was just to keep doing what we've been doing. And honestly, the vaccine doesn't change a whole lot about how we live our everyday lives. We still have to be really cautious. And I kind of think of it like, before the pandemic, I needed to be cautious because catching a cold or catching some random flu or virus has me in bed coughing up blood for weeks on end. These are the sorts of things that I saw 1 year ago when I was sick with whatever I had. I was coughing up blood for like a month, and my mucus, my cough, all of that went right back to what felt like pre-Trikafta life, like in an instant. And these are normal realities for me, and I'm really thankful that I was able to recover. It took a couple of months for my mucus and my cough to go back to what I would consider my baseline, but I dealt with fatigue, like this unexplained fatigue, for about 9 or 10 months after that virus was gone. And I am just grateful that I was able to regain my strength and my endurance, and I know that recovery is not a guarantee. So we do our best to stay safe, and right now my opportunity to get this vaccine is our next step, and I'm thankful. There are unknowns with this vaccine as far as how my body will handle it, how your body will handle it, but the way that we made the decision to get it is we talked to my doctors, we talked to my liver team, my lung team, immunology team, all the teams. And side note, ask your doctor about timing for when to get the vaccine, because my immunology team, we called them while I was doing IVIG actually the other day, and they said, well, ideally you won't do it within a week of IVIG, but they said, we told them, well, my vaccine's already scheduled, because we didn't know that there was any timing situation, and they said, as long as you handle the IVIG okay, like your body doesn't have a reaction, you should be okay to get the vaccine a few days later. I do wish that I would have known that previous to scheduling the vaccine, just to be like on the extra cautious side, but it is what it is. This is my opportunity, and it's not the same day as IVIG. So on the second vaccine, we will not do IVIG during the same week, because now we know.
Yeah, they said the more important thing is not to do IVIG right after the vaccine.
And basically, because with the vaccine and IVIG, your immune system is like working.
Both of those things are meant to build antibodies. Right. And so, yeah, it would be overdrive.
So, all of that being said, maybe some medications you're on, talk to your teams, ask them about the timing, if there's any specific timing with the vaccine. And the reality is, we don't really know. This is all new territory, so we do the best with what we've got at the moment, and we keep taking the next step. And obviously, I've said this before, when you're going to do something new and maybe a little bit intimidating or scary, like medical procedures or getting a vaccine at a convention center, wear something that makes you feel powerful. So I have my stripy power shirt on, which
Nice.
I kind of stole it from my mom. No, she gave it to me. But I love it, and it makes me feel confident.
Nice.
I used to wear my power pants, which were, I still have them. They're leggings that are like splotchy colors, but this is my new power shirt. It's not new, I've had it for years.
Nice.
But it's what I decided I needed to wear today. Plus, I was influenced by the fact that it's short sleeve. That's important too. Okay, I'm getting the essentials ready. Insurance cards and my ID, a pen so I don't touch any community germ pens. This is a classic pro tip from pre-pandemic life, but very much applies in pandemic as well. And a good old EpiPen. Let's do this. And a mask.
All right, it's vaccine time.
Let's do it.
There she goes.
Now would be a good time to not cough, body. Hello.
How you doing?
Fine.
What's the last name?
Frey, F-R-E-Y.
What time is the appointment?
1 o'clock.
Noon?
Yep.
That's down. Go ahead and give me.
All right, thanks. Hi. Frey, F-R-E-Y. Thank you.
So if you come in here, then I'll have you go to her.
Great.
What time is your appointment?
1 o'clock.
Oh, right here at the top. Okay, which arm do you prefer?
What do you recommend? I'm right armed.
Okay. Most are getting it in their left arm if they're right-handed,
Okay.
just because they it's going to be sore.
Okay.
Then some are. It just depends on the person. I'm not sure which side you sleep on.
We'll go with left.
Okay. Right. Have you had any vaccines in the past 2 weeks?
Nope.
Allergic to anything?
Nope.
You are receiving Moderna today. Next dose will be in 4 weeks. They will schedule that for you at the table right there with the blue balloon. And then once you get that appointment scheduled, you'll just have a seat for 15 minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, let me
you.
get your immunization card.
Okay.
Here's your card. Make sure to keep up with it. I'll bring it back when you come back. And here's a sticker.
Great, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're just...
All done. It didn't hurt at all. And now I'm just supposed to sit here until 1:14. And Peter just texted me, do you have to wait there? So I'll text him back. But yeah, it was super easy, calm, quiet in here. And I got Moderna, so I get my next shot. They scheduled me in a little over 4 weeks. 4 weeks and a couple days. And yeah, super easy. There it is. This is the next step forward for me to be able to keep my body as strong and stable as I possibly can amidst a global pandemic. Weird times.
She texted me, said that it didn't hurt, and she had it, and she had to wait 15 minutes before she could leave, just to make sure no reactions or anything. And so we're waiting for her to come out. Ollie and I took a little walk. This convention center's right on the water, and so it was kind of fun. Take a walk while she was in there, but it was pretty swift. She Like, it was like 5 minutes after she went in there, she texted me, she said, got the shot. So we are so grateful, and we are going to make a little day out of this by going to the beach. There she is!
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, that was super...
I didn't even go in there, and I'm sanitizing.
Super easy. I know, right? Yeah, it was super easy, and the shot did not hurt.
I'm so glad.
Maybe I was expecting like a Neupogen situation where it feels like acid going into my muscle.
Good job.
Yeah, great.
Got it done. So you just went in there and they asked you for your name? And
So first you check in with your name. First they take your temperature at the door. Then they check in with your name. Then you walk into the big conference room. And then there was somebody there, but not when I walked up, so I just was like, okay, there's a line of people, I guess I stand in that line. And I get up and she's like, and I was like, what? And she was like, your card? And I was like, I don't have one, I haven't gotten the shot. And she was like, oh, then you go over there. But then
maybe that was for second vaccine or something?
No, it was that there was, besides the moment that I walked up, there was a person telling you where to go. So first you go to the nurse. There's like lines of tables like this. And it's like nurse, administrator in the middle of the table. So when you sit down with the nurse, they tell the administrator your name. She starts writing your card. And then the nurse asked, any vaccines in the last 2 weeks and any allergies? And then she asks which arm. I went with left. I don't know. And then she put it in. It was really fast. It's not like a big shot. It's like a little.
Just like a vaccine.
And then.
And it was Moderna, right?
Yep. And then you get in the line. Then you hand them your card. Then they schedule your next one.
Oh, okay.
And then you sit in the waiting room for some time.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll see.
But I feel like I should like work.
I did read that on like the Q&A of the website.
So dance parties?
Dance party at the beach?
What? Check in tomorrow's video to see. Oh no, you said it. We haven't told him yet. I'll also keep you guys updated on my symptoms. But I expect to just have a sore arm. But I'll let you guys know my experience, and as always, we'll see you tomorrow at the beach.
Good night.
Good night. Ollie, do you know where we're going? You're gonna have so much fun.
Let's go to the beach. Let's go get away.